As Donald Trump continues his cabinet appointments, one Wall Street billionaire is raising his hand to lead the economy for the next administration. Cantor Fitzgerald head Howard Lutnick has been serving as co-chair of Trump's transition team, and many suspect his own name is on the list for potential Treasury Secretary, although there are a few names on that list. Of course, we've been talking about it. But joining us now is Bloomberg U.S. finance reporter Todd Gillespie. I'm very sorry, Todd. The fascination here is how quickly he came not only into Trump's graces, but the influence he's had. There's been a lot of conversation about his persona and how it fits into Washington. What do you think he's going to be most effective at getting done? He's made a lot of big statements.
Totally, Shania. I mean, this is a man who a year ago was a complete political novice. You know, no one outside of Wall Street really knew who he was. Even in Wall Street, he was considered largely an outsider, a man who ran a brokerage, was not a white shoe banker from Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. And now he's really, through sheer force of personality, kind of elevated himself to the top of DC. He's the first man that a lot of executives and politicians are calling up after the election, trying to get their names, trying to get their allies' names on these lists for the cabinet. He's a man who really is, you know, he's bombastic. He is really one of these people who's in for creative destruction. He's up for tearing down departments, and he thinks he can really bring in the private sector to really move along this Washington bureaucracy and align himself with these, you know, really transformative energy that we're trying to see, you know, that we're starting to see under a Trump administration.
So isn't, though, Scott Bessent really favored to be Treasury Secretary? I mean, if I look at the betting markets, he's heavily favored. And I know we're saying Lutnick is raising his hand, but doesn't Donald Trump want, you know, someone who is viewed as, you know, one of those Wall Street insiders to be doing this job?
Totally. I mean, we're reporting today, right, that Trump advisors have said that Scott Bessent is increasingly potentially a favorite to be Treasury Secretary. Lutnick could serve in another role like a special government employee or some other kind of economic advisor. And you're right in bringing up Scott Bessent here because in some ways the men couldn't be more different. You look at Bessent's op-ed the day after the elections, you know, calmly articulated, talking about how the markets had reacted positively to Trump. You look by...
I mean, that was a love letter to Trump.
Right, sure.
that was like, hey, still love me.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Lutnick expresses his love in different ways, partly by going on 2-hour podcasts with, you know, cryptocurrency investors and, you know, spieling off, you know, all of, and indeed coming on Bloomberg TV and talking about the kinds of policies that he wants to see, very unapologetic in his style, you know, in terms of talking about Donald Trump.